Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 125th commencement ceremony of the Virginia High School. Tonight we are here to honor the class of 2014. If you are a parent or a relative of one of the fine students up here on stage with me, you should be very proud. It is a very special day for all of you. Would you please rise for the playing of the national anthem under the direction of Christine Frenchue and the Virginia High School Band. Class, you may be seated.
Welcome, fellow graduates, school board, superintendent, faculty, teachers, parents, family, friends, and honored guests to this evening's commencement ceremony. Today will be the last day that many of the young men and women up here on stage will walk the halls of Virginia High School. They'll check their lockers to make sure they are completely empty. They'll visit Malone Hall one last time and hear the echo of their final song. They will sneak backstage and sign their name and year on the graffitied wall, as is the unspoken tradition. The walls of this building are old. Countless times they have witnessed the transition of timid freshmen into confident, well-rounded seniors. My class has experienced the same transition. Dressed in royal blue are creative musicians, state-caliber athletes, multilinguals, colorful artists, thoughtful intellectuals, and more. My class is extremely talented. Despite all of these talents, however, perhaps the most important qualities that this class encompasses are shown not on the list of accomplishments and awards that adorn their resumes, but in the compassion that lies within their hearts. Their creativity, empathy, and sheer brilliancy far outweigh the importance of their GPA, varsity letters, and medals. I hope that these qualities are the ones they will allow to flourish during their upcoming college years. College. Surely, some of us are wondering how exactly it was that we ended up on this stage decorated in caps and tassels. How did these timid freshmen turn into confident seniors? I'm not sure how many of us have older siblings, but I do, my sister, and she's quite smart. I used to look at her human anatomy, Hush, and pre-calculus homework and think, no, there's no way I can pass those classes. There's no way I can audition into wind ensemble. There's no way that I will make varsity tennis. But I did. We all did. And it wasn't so bad. It was even somewhat pleasant. Look at us now, successful, accomplished high school graduates. I believe that the majority of us are smiling, even if a tear or two may glisten in our eyes. Everything seems happy, and everything is. We look back and feel the tremors of pleasant nostalgia. However, suddenly we look forward, and college is looming before us, creating equal measures of excitement, anticipation, and trepidation. How are we going to pass those intimidating college courses? How will we make a varsity team or an elite ensemble when we're competing with not only our fellow countrymen from around the nation, but with our fellow human beings from around the world? How can we possibly pay off our college debts? College, the future, careers, the job market. How will we survive? As I was listening to a podcast called Welcome to Night Vale, I found this quote. I believe it perfectly addresses the fears I named earlier, fears I'm sure some of my classmates may share. The character Cecil says, "The past is gone, and while the future is fast coming for you, it always flinches first and settles in as the gentle present. This now, this us, we can cope with that. We can do this together, you and I." My dear friends, no matter the path we may take, and no matter the fears of the future we may face, we shall always carry on, if we're lucky, with a little bit of grace. We will find the vast, ambiguous, and unknown future isn't quite so harsh, but instead will envelop us in open arms. We will not simply muddle through, simply survive. Oh no, we will do more than that. We will live. Do not forget your empathy and compassion. In this world of vast races, religions, genders, sexualities, finances, and nationalities, dare to love those who are different from you. Let your brilliancy shine through. Before I close, I'd like to make a few thank yous. First, to the teachers of the school. Teaching requires more than the memorization of a few facts or theorems. It takes dedication, understanding, and innovation. Our teachers at Virginia High School are beyond excellent. They have shared so much of themselves with their students and so much of their time, indeed, more than they are justly paid for. They have shaped us not only into fine scholars, but into good human beings. I would particularly like to thank Mr. Mostyn for his sarcasm, Mrs. Knowles-Lutzka for the adventures, Mrs. Frenchue for the melodies, and Mr. Wiserode for his wisdom. Please give all the teachers a round of applause. Next, I'd like to thank my classmates for sharing their high school years with me. It's sad to say goodbye, but we will always carry each other in our hearts. I know that you will help shape our world's fast-coming future, and I eagerly await seeing the contributions you will make to society. Thank you especially to Haley Greenwald and Emma Hofdahl, who have both been not simply friends, but family to me, because family doesn't end with blood. If you would, please take a moment of silence to recognize one of our classmates that couldn't be here today. His name was Austin Gillen, and he passed from us too soon. We will always hold him in our hearts. Thank you. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the parents of my classmates, and specifically my parents. A parent's bond with his or her child is one of the most profound in the world. From them, we base our values and morals, we take on their characteristics, we share a home. As emotional as we graduates are, I'm sure that our parents will even be more emotional as their little boy or little girl walks across the stage. After all, wasn't it just yesterday that we went crying and screaming to them when we scraped our knee? or hug them excitedly when we hit our first baseball, or drag them off to bed when it was time for stories. To close, I'd like to share a few things my father has taught me. If you've ever been a tennis player or a student of his, you've probably heard one or more of these phrases. He's told me, when you lose, you say little. When you win, you say even less. Two things matter in life, attitude and effort, and, of course, wherever you go, there you are. Thank you for your attention. Have a great evening, and best wishes for the future.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, teachers, school board members, superintendent, parents, and my lovely fellow graduates. and thank you for attending the 2014 commencement ceremony. I would like to start by highlighting a few of our class's accomplishments this year. First of all, the class of 2014 received a grand total of over $500,000 in scholarships. Looks like you don't need my 2 cents. Our classmates in Wind Ensemble and the a cappella choir received superior ratings in the Section 7A North Region Music Contest. What a notable achievement. This year's homecoming was home run. Snow Week was super cool, and the annual barbecue was a great success. Thank you, Student Council. The Virginia boys tennis team won the section meet and will be competing at state. You boys really raised a racket. And as you all know, Isaac Erickson came in first at state swimming for the 50-yard freestyle. If you ain't first, you're last, right, Ike? And the achievements don't end there. As you can see, this senior class has worked hard and accomplished numerous impressive feats that demonstrate just how ambitious and capable we are. The students you see in front of you are a simply amazing group of athletes, artists, writers, singers, volunteers, musicians, and all around really smart people. Our diverse set of interests and talents has given us the skills and experiences necessary to pursue whatever we choose in the future. As we move on with our lives, we must remember where we started in VHS, the awkward beginnings of 9th grade to the bittersweet endings of senior year. We all got the opportunity to know one another. We couldn't have known that each person that we came in contact with would only help shape and develop our personalities, viewpoints, senses of humor, and all sorts of other little things that make us each unique. We will never forget the friendships we've built and the adventures we've had. Now I'd like to take the time to thank everyone who had an impact on my experience throughout high school. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for believing in me no matter what, and always being there for me to lean on. Thank you to all of my wonderful teachers and coaches for pushing me to succeed and always being there for me to lean on. Thank you to all of my crazy friends for all of the unforgettable memories and always being there for me to lean on. Thank you, Mr. Wiseroad, for proofreading my speech and always being there for me to lean on. Thank you for all of the supporting staff for working to keep the school running smoothly at all times and always being there for me to lean on. Thank you to the lunch ladies, Chris and Wendy, for feeding me and being an inspiration, and always being there for me to lean on. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the class of 2014 for being in the same grade as me, and always being there for me to lean on. High school has brought us all many joys and many stresses. Although sometimes the stresses could be overwhelming, the joys outweigh the struggles when you consider the relationships that we've developed, the memories that we have created, and the future that we have ahead of us as the result of our hard work and determination. Now I'd like to take the time to read a list of names of all the people who paid me $1 to mention them in my speech. Emily Plushwick, Carly Wright, Jennifer Verant, Sarah Coide, Autumn Vogley, Annie Marcella, Jill Westerber, Austin Burritt, Abby Burritt, Alexis Carey, Maggie Ditzler, Courtney Ruzick, Emma Hofdahl, Eiley Sella, Isaac Erickson, Jacqueline Hajeli, Sarah Socha, Andrea Felton, Monica Anderson, Rachel Andrews, Hannah Allen, Jessica Simo, Amanda Patton, Stephanie Polanski, blonde-haired girl at Dollar Tree, Heidi Fossum, Dominic Pauling, Alex Teberg, Nathan Fink, and Anna Fink. In closing, I would like to share a quote by my role model and love of my life, President John F. Kennedy. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. So, class of 2014, never forget your experiences as a high school student, but do not dwell on them either. High school has given us the tools to achieve greatness, and now we must go out into the world and learn how to use them. Our future is out there. It may be riddled with debt and look suspiciously like 4 years of surviving on a diet of ramen noodles and tap water, but it is filled with the promise of unforgettable memories, lifelong friendships, and unbelievable opportunities. My beautiful class of 2014, congratulations, good luck, and most importantly, don't let these 4 years be the best of your life, because graduation is only the beginning. Thank you.
Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water.
I don't have this written down, but the class of 2014 is probably the least sneaky of my graduate classes. I just saw about 15 cans of silly string go down the back row. For 8 years, I have been telling every graduate class up here, no silly string. It makes a mess, it stains, it's hard to pick up, and for 8 years they've been managing to get the silly string up here. And today I find out that the custodians are in on it. I cannot win, so I give up. All right, I made their day. At this time, I would like to invite the school board chair, Sonny Pinio, and school board clerk, Heather Surla, to join the class on stage. And while they're making their way on stage, I want to ask the audience a couple of things. I'd like you to hold your applause, and please do not call out to the graduates as they walk across the stage. It makes it impossible for you to hear or parents to hear the next child that I will be announcing. And all parents want to hear their child's name announced. Some of you have been waiting 13, maybe more years to hear that voice pronounce their name pronounced at graduation. And I'm not going to deprive you of that. That being said, when I finally do present the class at the very end, I will say, now I present the class. I would like you, the audience in the balcony, to raise such a racket, these chandeliers get the dust knocked off them. And they're waiting for it because I told them that you guys would do that, so don't disappoint them. We will begin commencement. Will the class please rise and come forward to receive your diplomas when I call your name? Kendra Rosalind Adamick. Cristo Ray Agravante. Hannah Alitha Allen. Colton David Anderson. Monica Lee Anderson. Rachel Joan Andrews. Cal Tristan Arnberg. Cole Alan Babaraki. Abigail Kathleen Fink. Taylor Beth Gunderson. Tyler Russell Bakus. Kaylin Joseph Becker. Austin Marvin Benz. Jessica Ann Berglund. Brett Donald Bergman. Katrina Suzanne Bertucci. Elliot Michael Boney. Rachel Lillian Brandstrom. Drew Kenneth Buckwitz. Patrick Hugh Burke. Abigail Eva Burritt. Austin Sean Burritt. Andrew Anthony Callister. Alexis Nicole Carey. Angelica Ivy Carlson. Nicole Marie Carlson. Christopher Lee Cunningham. Morgan Marie Deutsch Woods. Julia Rose DeVries. Elise Sarah Joyce Edgar. Isaac Robert Erickson. Shania Haley Adair Essela. Kristen Brooke Francisco. Abigail Marie Frazee. Ellie Ann Godmere. Kyle John Graneman. Haley Ann Greenwald. Dakota Allen Gray Owl. Callie Joe Gustafson. Emma Rose Hofdahl. Austin James Hautala. Aaliyah B. Hendricks. Michael John Hildreth. Jacqueline Clarice Jelly. Jeremy Scott Holmescats. Cole Emmanuel Jensen. Forrest Lawson Jones. Louis Thomas Judnick. Beverly Sarah Jacqueline Raquel Kalinowski. Travis Joel Kemp. Joshua Ray Kessanen. Jenna K. Kingsley. Austin Lee Knudsen Claysmat. Joshua James Colhase. Patrick William Crawledge. Alina Irene Kruth. Samuel Levi Kite. Cody Lee Laxo. Alexander Jeffrey Lackner. Marissa Ann Lisi. Jasmine Marie Lepisto. Caitlin Nicole Lind. Tyler James Lutz. Kyle Roger Mackey. Taylor Shay Marasti. Alexis Faith McCarty Mackey. Matthew James McFall. Michael James McFall. Matthew Ryan Merkins. Michael James Mitchell. Matthew David Mohar. Allison Marjorie Molick. Alyssa Marie Monticello. Janelle May Nagel. Brennan Lee Nagurski. Bryce Gerald Nagan. Alex John Nyberg. Thomas Lyle Ostergaard. Hannah Lee Patton. Tiana Marie Peterson. John Carl Pinio. Anna Elise Podpesker. Stephanie Ann Pulaski. Garrison Wayne Precker. Justine Marion Prout. Kaylee Joe Putzel. Jacob Carl Quick. Courtney K. Quiros. Matthew Ronald Quiros. Alexander John Rebholz. Amy Lee Rice. Courtney Marine Ruzick. Chloe Maria Salinas. Neil Beckman Salo. Jesse John Shano. Ashley Bonnie Seabrook. Lauren Nicole Seaman. Andrew Christian Setterland. Eiley Isabel Sella. Emily Ann Sipola. Joseph Daniel Scoutis. Benjamin Thomas Smaker. Sarah June Socha. Kelsey Ray Stillings. Maria Sophia Stokes Cirkvenik. Crail Richard Stringer IV. Brennan Wayne Strong. Michael Joseph Tansky. Lauren Sidney Twite. Ashley Taylor Vogue. Alyssa K. Westby. Tessa Lynn Wheatenen. Aaron Joseph Wilcox. Mitchell Edward Wiseman. James Douglas Waitala. I have a couple of more diplomas that don't fall into that same category. We have a foreign exchange student this year, and he cannot officially graduate, but we have made him a part of class of 2014, and he is receiving a diploma of participation. At this time, I would like to recognize Vili Osakari Aikala from Finland with a certificate of participation. Come forward, Willie. And finally, graduating in absentia, we have Joseph Thomas Pedersen, Robert John Petruska, Marissa Nicole Suomi. And if I could call your attention to one of the chairs sitting up on stage, you probably noticed we have an empty chair. On that chair is a gown and a cap and a name. The chair was reserved by this class for Austin Joseph Gillen, and Austin passed away on February 7, 2012 of muscular dystrophy. But he remains in our hearts and is a big part of this class, and accepting his diploma tonight is his mom, Lynn Gillen. At this time, I would like to thank Mrs. Frenchu and the band members for the beautiful music, Mr. Matt Craig and the a cappella choir for their songs, and Mrs. Sheila Wilcox for all of her hard work in organizing and working with the seniors throughout the year. Please give them a round of applause. Now will the class of 2014 please rise? I hereby proclaim that the students standing before you today Are you guys with me? Are we going to graduate, or should we go? All right, here we go. I hereby proclaim that the students standing before you today have met all of the state requirements laid out by the Minnesota State Board of Education and the Virginia School District number 706. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the class of 2014.